My personal and business goal is to be just a little bit better every day. I believe everyone, especially normal people, have a story to tell. The Virtus podcast exists to help us all find small ways of consistent improvement by discussing the journey and experiences of each of our guests.
Big news, sports fans! I decided to start calling everyone sports fans. Yeah, I know I'm not exactly the jockey type, but I watched Hoosiers last night, and I like sports now.
We also like sports now, don't we, Pulse?
How about that local sports team, huh?
How about that guy kicking the touchdown?
All fair. All fair. All fair.
Running and leaning into a slam dunk. That was pretty cool.
Jumping. Hey.
So, welcome to the Virtus Performance Podcast. This is episode number 71, I believe.
Wow.
I know, it's pretty cool.
It's prime too.
I think it's 71.
I like it. Prime number.
Prime? Oh, yeah, good.
Maybe.
Is it?
No, I don't think it is now. No, it's divisible by 3.
71?
Yeah. No, it's not.
No, it's not. 23 and a half.
Yeah. It's not 4, not 5, not 6.
Good.
Gonna go into 7 now. No, I reckon it is prime.
So the last 15 seconds is probably a good insight into the next hour and a half or so. So the plan for today is we are doing a podcast about sports.
Yay!
After knowing Palser for a little while, I've known him as a man who loves his sports, and I also like my sports. It's fun to say sports instead of sport.
Plural. Everything's better plural.
I can think of worse things.
Most things are better plural.
I won't go where my brain was thinking there.
No.
So, after being inspired by, I think, Aubrey Marcus, talking to one of his colleagues about the best sport in the world, we weren't overly happy with the result, which, to be honest, I can't remember what it was because I was so outraged. I think they might have ended up with UFC or NFL.
Wow.
As the best sport in the world.
I disagree.
We disagree wholeheartedly. So, what we've done is we've made a bracket.
Yes, we have.
A 32-team bracket.
32 sport bracket.
Sports.
Not teams.
Yeah, sorry. 32 sport bracket. And what we're going to do is we're going to start eliminating sports one at a time and see who wins. So we've spent the last 6 weeks researching and planning and sorting it out. And
6 hours, maybe, not weeks.
10 minutes. So this is going to be our opinionated, under-researched view on what we think is the best sport.
We've got five factors.
Criteria.
5 criteria that we're going to rank the sports on.
That criteria is the wow factor. So
explain that to me.
So the wow factor, I thought, was more like your jaw-dropping feats. It's your moment. It's your thing. You look at it and you're just like, how does someone do that? Yeah. How does a team
do that?
So
they do say sport is the best form of reality TV.
Who says that?
I've heard it before. I've read it somewhere.
In a book?
Yeah, on an article.
Good.
And why do you reckon television companies spend so much money for sport?
Oh, no, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We just don't know. Sport is unpredictable in itself.
Which takes us to the second one, which is predictability. We want to, we
want unpredictable sport.
We want unpredictable. We want sports where we don't really know who's going to win.
Yeah.
The underdogs can get up.
We love an underdog.
Oh, we all love an underdog.
True story of an underdog.
The third one is watchability. So, can you sit there and watch a whole game or a whole race or a whole series?
Mm.
And obviously being at the sport as well. We didn't talk about live action sports,
Yeah. I guess being on your couch and being at the venue is something completely different that will come into this debate.
Yes. And the fourth is athleticism. So obviously sheer athleticism, speed, strength, power, endurance.
Yeah.
All these things are fairly important when it comes to
It's going to be quite
sports.
difficult because a lot of these sports have different
physical capacities.
Yeah, like who's the fittest athlete on earth? That's another show for another day. But
CrossFit didn't even come into the
CrossFit's
conversation.
Nice.
So
yeah, just like who's fitter, a gymnast or a race car driver? Like you could have that debate. What's fitness? I guess if you listen to earlier podcasts, you might be able to work that out.
That's true. And the last one is mass appeal. So, of the 7 point something billion people in the world, how many of them are paying attention to this sport?
And we only chose 32, so obviously we've left some out. There's
we
a
have.
couple of honourable mentions.
Or dishonourable mentions, seeing they're the 33rd to 42nd best sport.
There's other sports that exist as well, but we didn't even think of them. So
We figure if we didn't think of them in our first 40 sports, then they're probably not great sports.
we were looking at the list. We try to base it off what sports are in the Olympics because that has probably the largest global appeal in terms of sports. But that's an ever-changing dynamic. Because
Did you tell me rock climbing was in the Olympics in
2020? Yeah, because obviously the next Olympics is in Tokyo. The Japanese have, when you're the host nation of the Olympics, you have a choice at what can come in and what can go out.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure skateboarding is going to be in the Olympics. I'm pretty sure
Skateboarding was one of our honourable mentions.
Yeah, skateboarding
Didn't quite make it. Sorry, Tony Hawk fans.
Oh, what a game!
Is he still in?
He might come back to win a gold medal for America. That would be elite.
That would be impressive.
Yeah.
So if rock climbing's a sport, does that mean hiking is going to become a sport?
That's just a form of running, then, wouldn't it be? Hiking
Or walking?
Walking's a sport.
Yeah.
Race walking.
Yeah.
That's will come
outrageous.
into the track and field. But I think from what I know, I think they're bringing baseball and softball back.
Surfing.
Surfing's coming in. I think the Summer Olympics is trying to go down the route of the Winter Olympics, trying to appeal to that younger generation with
Of course.
the
It's a bit more
extreme
excitement, a
sports.
bit more wow factor.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Wow. Indeed.
What were the sports that made the short list to not be good enough to be on the big list?
So we got skateboarding. Apologies to Tony Hawk.
And friends.
And friends.
Assume there are
I could
others.
name some more. Rodney Mullen, Rick McCrank.
Bob Burnquist.
Bob Burnquist, who's sponsored by Oakley with all those cool glasses. Squash, which I was disappointed about. We've got badminton,
Rubbish sport.
which is the fastest sport in the world.
The fastest.
Apparently, the shuttlecock moves the fastest in the world. That could be. Don't quote me on that. But if you want
What
some
about
stats, we'll put them in the show
jet
notes.
fighter pilot racing?
Fastest ball or implement sport, shuttlecock.
Fastest.
You know, it doesn't follow a parabolic flight curve.
It doesn't.
There's only one thing that doesn't follow a parabolic flight curve.
Is that because it flies and then the feathers gain resistance
so
and then it starts
If you
shuttling
hit it,
down?
it will get to a certain point and it will just drop straight down. Whereas any other projectile has a parabolic flight curve.
There you go.
Yeah, fun fact.
It's going to be full of fun facts.
I know so many. Lawn bowls. Apologies
Yeah,
to
unlucky.
Apologies to our older listeners.
Apologies to our
fan base.
ABC viewers.
Is it still on ABC?
I don't know.
Do you know Jack Heverin on SEN? He's a local boy. He's like a sports broadcaster. He cut his teeth and got his jobs now, like commentating AFL through becoming like the number one commentator in lawn bowls. No joke.
Where did the term cutting your teeth come from?
I don't know. It obviously comes back to when you're an infant and something happens.
And you're cutting
Your teeth, or it's normally, I don't know where the analogy comes from. I like it though.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We all know what it means.
Yeah, powerlifting. I don't know much about that.
Oh, look,
Lucky Coach Cam and a few others aren't in here because
they'd probably argue against it not being part of the 32, but you know, it's an
weightlifting's in there.
it's a fantastic exponent of strength.
Is powerlifting the three lifts? Is that
Squats, deads, bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know,
I just don't think-
if we argue for CrossFit,
Maybe in
against
20 years'
CrossFit, we
time.
have to argue against. Maybe we do a 64 sport bracket.
We need to do some more research then. Boxing.
We
Did I
did
say
twice
boxing?
as much as we did today. Yeah, boxing didn't make it, and some people say it's the purest of all sports. I assume.
I've never been a big fan. I don't understand the appeal. I know they're quite fit and everything, but
they are incredible athletes from being able to punch someone while simultaneously being punched in the head kind of deal, and obviously kickboxing and things like that go into that category. But
that did make it. We've got like UFC and MMA. We thought that was a bit more appealing.
We'll
than
get to
boxing.
that. We'll get to that. But I don't know. I think it's one of those sports that may be dying a little bit. I think with
very corrupt as well.
Yes, corruption isn't one of our five criteria.
Maybe it appeals to the older generation, a bit like lawn bowls. But they're still very popular.
Sailing didn't make it.
Sailing, Olympic sport.
Unfortunate.
I don't know. Just doesn't.
If the America's Cup was a little bit like if Australia's victory was a little bit earlier, then maybe it would win.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got
lacrosse.
Lacrosse didn't make it, unfortunately.
More of an Americanized sport.
Yes.
Outside of college, I don't think it actually exists.
No, there's international leagues in Europe and stuff, I assume.
Europe?
I think so. I think it's big in Europe.
I just remember it from American Pie.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously we haven't been.
No, we don't follow lacrosse. No, they play in the city. I've seen it.
Do they?
Yeah, there's a league.
You know what I was shown in? Well, I was in Bolivia of all places. Curling or hurling? No, hurling.
Hurling's a Gaelic sport.
Yes, it's incredible.
It's like field hockey and footy.
It's like field hockey, lacrosse, and footy all put together.
Yeah, so
like they're literally like taking jukes with a whatever their paddle thingy is, and throwing it like hurling.
It's a bit like golf.
They do hurl it, yes. They hurl it like 60 meters.
Yeah.
And it's just hectic. It's insane. So, jump on YouTube for some hurling highlights if you're currently not driving your car.
We also got motor racing, which could
Speaking of driving cars, and apologies to Rick Kelly for
don't listen, Rick.
for us not putting motor racing in there. Apologies to Mark Webber and he's not doing it anymore.
I think he still drives a car though. I don't know.
Sebastian, I apologise.
Sebastian Vettel.
Correct. Oh look,
Daniel Ricciardo.
Motor racing is, I think, in terms of athletic prowess, awesome. In terms of, for me,
I can't consider it a sport because it relies on the mechanical. Because they're not all the same cars.
So does cycling, more or less.
Yeah, but you still the car's powered, the bike's powered by you. So
correct.
Obviously, the car is.
So with
motor racing, I feel like if you've got the most money, you're probably going to win.
Well, you can buy the best driver, so yeah, probably.
Not even that, you can have the best car. So I think with sports like that, I think my dad's
is obviously a big proponent
driver.
Yeah,
like you can buy speed in that sport. You can buy being successful to a point. Obviously, if it was an equal playing field, which I think they've tried in the past, where they're all the same cars, it makes it a little bit interesting. But I think with those kind of sports, and apologies to all the motor racing fans out there, I just feel that if you're in a team, I don't think it's an equal playing field every time you go out to race.
Yeah, that's interesting. And obviously the two-wheeled version of that made it into the 32, so I'll obviously talk about that.
That's a bit more creativity, though, I think, a little bit. Okay. That will come into that once we have that debate.
Yeah, good. I like it. So they're the sports. Obviously, there's things like curling and
there's a lot of sports we didn't.
And other
horse racing.
Horse racing. Yeah, that didn't make it because obviously it's all the horse and it's a little bit cruel sometimes.
A bit like the motor racing, it's all the car, really.
What about free diving? As in,
we didn't even have diving on there.
No. Oh yeah, didn't have synchronised swimming either. Yeah, so we've missed a few, but.
I'm pretty comfortable with the 32 we've got.
It's a good 32. Do you want to start rolling through it?
It's a little bit hard because obviously we can't. It's all just done at random, so it's a bit hard to predict where they're going to come out. Because obviously, if one gets eliminated, it doesn't have a chance to come back in.
Yeah, there is no plan B. There's no
repechage.
No wild card.
Yeah.
Let's see how we go.
Yeah. Okay.
So the first battle, round one, some would say.
Yeah, match one.
Water polo versus ice hockey. Now, as someone who doesn't really watch either sport...
They're very similar.
Are they?
Well, yeah, in terms of numbers and obviously the...
Oh, in terms of the way the game's played?
The way the game's played.
Spot on.
Yeah.
One's got sticks.
Yeah.
The other one's got a lot
both are very rough. If you're into like people getting hurt and getting roughed up.
Are you into being roughed up?
That's another podcast for a later date. It's after dark one.
Well, here's how I look at it, right? I do not know water polo exists
outside of the
Olympics. However, come Olympics,
Australia's
I will watch some water polo.
Is quite successful. I'm not that's a prerequisite of our trying to work out which one's
the best. It's not one of the first five, mate.
It's quite skillful. Can be a bit boring at times, like they just kind of flop around in the pool.
It's a little like soccer in terms of the
tactics involved.
Yes,
and it's very hard to score. Like most games, like 7-6. I can't remember how long they actually play for.
Yeah, well,
a lot of things happening underwater, which you can't really view as well. Like a lot of groping.
Fortunately,
and stuff.
so.
Yeah, like apparently they grab you on the bits and stuff like that. That's like it's very big in the European bloc.
The grabbing on the bits or the water polo?
The water polo.
Okay.
So the stronger countries tend to come from the European countries.
Okay.
That Eastern European bloc.
Ice hockey, I think, from a...
It's a very good sport to watch.
So from a wow factor, ice hockey, because people get punched in the head every now and again.
Just like, I think we forget to think about the fact that the way that they can move on ice.
Yeah.
Because that's a skill within itself.
Agreed.
Being able to skate.
Well, from an athleticism point of view, is being able to skate or being able to keep yourself above water better? Which one is?
I think ice hockey.
Well, I think athleticism, ice hockey, watchability, ice hockey. wow factor.
I think ice hockey is more of a 360-degree game as well.
Yep.
Whereas water polo tends to only happen in halves, very 180 base.
Correct. It's very invasion gamey.
Yeah, obviously it's got a goal as well, but it probably can get a little bit. They've got a shot clock which speeds it up a little bit, but it's pretty much one team swims the ball down and tries to score a goal, and the other one, which is similar to ice hockey in a way, but it's a bit more creative. What they can do,
counter attack maybe.
Yeah. Similar in the fact that they can both get sent off and put it in the penalty box. My love for the Mighty Ducks might see me this one through, I reckon.
Make a call, mate.
I think it's got to be ice hockey.
Ice hockey. Oh, the winner. Good. So, round 2, match 2.
Yeah.
Skiing and boarding versus equestrian. Now,
this is a tough one.
Yeah, because these are two groups, groups of sports. We've got...
Well, equestrian can be 3 things, from my knowledge, and apologies to the equine fans out there. Equestrian, from what I know and what I've watched at the Olympics, is it's a 3 event. It's made up of 3 events. So you've got your dressage, which the horse does all the crazy stuff in the rectangle with the sand, like dances to music and stuff. You've got the cross country, which I think's the coolest part of it, where they just try and whip around this course and jump over stuff and like go over water and
just get it done.
That's cool. And then the last part of it's just the show jumping, where they jump over the different coloured fences.
My question for you: why did equestrian make it and horse riding didn't? Because one's making them go fast, the other one's making them do weird shit.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of horse racing. We talked about corrupt sports and stuff like that too. I think it's up there. If you want to put horse racing in, you could put greyhounds in. Yep,
but you don't see any little people, any 4-year-olds riding a greyhound.
That would be something to watch, wouldn't it?
Watch that sport. Watchability, if anyone from Fox Sports is listening.
The Ocho. What's ESPN 8. Yeah, so a question. Skiing and boarding, that's such a broad one. You've got Winter Olympics.
I wanted to put Winter Olympics
You can't write Winter Olympics
as a single sport.
So you've got skiing, so you've got downhill skiing, you've got slalom, you've got Super G, you've got ski jumping, you've got...
I have superior...
They do like border cross and ski cross, and they've got half pipe.
I have incredible respect for all boarders and skiers because it's such a scary, intense sport. Like, look at old mate Lydia knocking over the gold for the aerial skiing, and I think to be honest, skiing...
We haven't even put ice skating on the list too.
It's not really a sport, mate. It's more like dancing. I wouldn't
talk about that to Steve Bradbury.
He fell over.
Yeah, but that's a memory we have. But how about all the other athletes?
It's okay. It's definitely a sport. I'm being facetious.
There's short track and long track. Have you ever seen short? That's good to watch.
It's very good to watch.
Put that in the dishonourable.
It's definitely as well. Yeah. I don't know. We're going to come up with lots of dishonourable mentions as we go. We're going to get caught off track.
Skiing and boarding.
We're going to fall off the side of the mountain.
You've got to almost think here. There's that equestrian, because skiing and boarding is so broad. So if I had a choice of what I wanted to watch, and it was on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
One was on 503, one was on 504. I would probably lean towards the skiing and boarding.
So would I. Purely wow factor. Like you watch.
Like the guys on the snowboards in the half pipe and stuff like that. It's pretty impressive.
And snowboard cross is pretty cool to watch. Like
for sure.
People going ass over tit and doing all those kind of things. So
and then you've got a number of different elements there that you can look into. You've got like speed and you've got creativity.
And obviously we haven't really broken it down enough to pick
maybe
an individual sport against an individual sport. But
I think it's
skiing and boarding wins as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. Well, apologies if you do love your horses. You can probably turn off now. Nice, please stay listening. Skiing and boarding, but I think we're going to have to be careful with that because
it beats ice hockey.
We'll get to.
We'll get to round 2. All right. So game 3, rowing and handball.
Ooh.
So is this the same as we were told at school? European handball.
It's just called team handball or just handball.
What about if you're not in Europe? It's called European handball.
I think we call it European handball, but you can just call it handball.
Is it actually origins from Europe?
That I don't know. I think so. A lot of the big soccer clubs in Europe have handball teams.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like basketball clubs. So they're big entities over there and have handball, basketball. Like clubs like Barcelona and all those have teams. Rowing.
I think rowing.
Is that kayaking as well? Like that crazy stuff? They have to go through the gates.
what's it called? Slalom kayaking?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'd put rowing as just
Because I do have canoeing and kayak and rowing.
pairs and what's
The
it? Eights and
the single
the
sculls
and the single
double
yes.
skull.
Yes.
2Ks, just flatten that
Oh
up.
mate, I've never been in a rowboat that's not a dinghy, but
Well, you've got an ergo here,
we've got an ergo, which not quite the same, but I'm sure it gives us some taste, and it sucks.
Yeah.
6 minutes on it just blows your lungs to pieces. So I think
steeped in history rowing, like a lot of the major universities around the world and those kind of things.
true. We also,
it's pretty like it's just 2Ks in a
if we
straight
go
line.
things that are steeped in history, though, that doesn't really do it for me.
Oh no, I'm just bringing it to the table. I think handball's quite exciting. It's not a very popular sport in Australia. If you listen to my earlier podcast, you probably find that I'm quite a strong advocate for handball.
You are, and it's come up before. So, to be honest, I don't really have an opinion on these two sports. I can take it or leave it.
What one would you rather watch on TV? Rowing, you'd flick it over and then see what else is, and then come back and it'd be in exactly the same spot. At least handball in that time.
In rowing, yeah, that's it. In rowing, I think it's one of the sports that even the athletes lay down every now and again.
Ooh, lay down Sally.
Stab. Shout out.
Whatever happened to her?
I think she's still laying.
She's still laying down.
Still in a
doing her best work.
supine position. I'd watch handball.
Yeah. If you ever get an opportunity, if you do go to Europe or...
There's no real wow factor for rowing. They do cool things in handball.
How did they make it in?
How do they what?
How did rowing make it into the 30s?
I think so watchability and wow factor, not really. If they're close, it's cool, but then you can't really tell because of cameras in a weird spot.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to
appeal,
actually...
predictability.
Produce on TV.
Yeah, correct.
Because obviously it's a 2K race
drones,
down a river.
Mate, get into drones. I'm sure drones would be elite to watch rowing.
Well, you should go up to Patterson Lakes and go to the state rowing centre.
National Water Sports Centre. And apologies to Charlie Shaw and wakeboarding, if you're listening.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. We might have to do a little bracket for all the
shitter sports.
Extreme sports.
I mean, other sports.
Freestyle.
It's
a couple of stuff.
There we go. Athleticism is probably why rowing made it, because it's just exceptional, pure anaerobic
They
power.
had quite a large
tank
aerobic capacity as well. I'd love to see the VO2 max of a rower compared to, say, like our traditional endurance.
They have a big
beef.
tank. Like 2 fish in a tank. 2 fish in a tank. One goes to the other one. Who's driving this thing?
That's poor. I think handball that wins that one.
Oh, yeah. Yep, agreed. All right, now this is a big one. Well, a big one that I think we can argue about. Cricket or golf?
The next two are quite big, actually, in terms of Australian sports.
Yeah, cricket or golf? What wins?
Well, I think cricket.
Why?
It's a lot more exciting than golf is. Like, golf would be a sport I'd watch if there was nothing else on. And that's saying something. I'll watch cricket before I watch golf.
See, cricket and golf are two sports that I would... and I very rarely flick. I very rarely sit in front of the TV, but if I was sitting in front of the TV and there was cricket and golf on, I would flick between the two and it would make up about half of the entertainment value I'm looking for. So...
they're even. Is that what you're trying to say?
They're even in terms of shitness. What would you rather play? Because I do thoroughly enjoy golf. I did play some X-Golf last week. If anyone's down in Moynihan, get down to X-Golf.
I like mini golf. Is that
mini golf is fun. Well, I don't know. In terms of mass appeal, it probably adds to it.
I think cricket, mass appeal, like India.
Mate, Tiger won again.
Yeah, but...
Get around him. Shout out to Tiger if you're listening.
I'm sure he is. Be disappointed with the way this is going. I think cricket have done a great job in obviously changing their game, so it's more
it's pretty
watchability,
impressive.
wow factor, and athleticism. I think with the introduction of 2020, it's made it a lot more watchable.
Yep.
Like if you were just grading this on test matches, then
IPL, etc., etc. If we're in the subcontinent, then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
We're not though.
Not a truly world sport, more of your Commonwealth kind of style sport.
Yeah.
There's a lot of younger developing nations becoming...
I think golf, from an athleticism point of view, isn't where it needs to be. Obviously, they're becoming more athletic. However,
yeah, you see blokes like John Daly and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Golf is watchability. You don't know. It's like a cricket. It's like test match. You don't know the winner for 4 days.
Correct, and no one likes that. So I think cricket wins.
I think cricket can, with its 2020 and stuff like that. Cricket wins that one.
And so the next one is a bit of a toughie.
Well, this is where there's flaws in the way the sports come out, because we've got two quite popular sports.
But I'm okay with having two popular sports because the winner wins anyway.
Yeah, true.
So we've got AFL and netball for those playing at home.
I think netball is a sport that often gets underestimated by the male population, and how skillful it is.
Yep.
Being a PE teacher,
It's speedy.
it is very speedy, and the girls and the men that play, because obviously men are.
Bryce Rowley, get around him.
Yeah, when represented Australia, I saw.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, which is good. It's a good social game, netball.
Obviously, a nice, small, tight deck to play on.
Yeah, not good in terms of injuries and stuff like that, but you could argue about with that a lot of sports. I just think, in terms of watchability, if you were to sit down and not know the game of netball, you'd really find it difficult to understand what was actually going on. There's a lot of whistles.
A lot of stopping and starting.
A lot of stopping and
A
starting.
lot of strange rules. No running with the ball. That freaks me out.
Yeah, I get that. And I think it teaches you a lot about zoning and communication with your teammates.
Yeah.
Which is an important skill. Positioning. But, two, I think it's becoming more and more athletic in terms of, like, days in the past you've probably seen some goal shooters that wouldn't fit the type of an athletic style. But
Yeah.
And also, too, I think the taller you are, like, it creates a bit of an unfair advantage just with the rules that are based. It doesn't make it a fair... And I know that's not the person's fault that they're extremely tall. And I don't want to... It just seems like they have a unfair advantage. I don't know. I like netball, but I can't see it beating Australian.
It doesn't beat footy. It's as simple as that.
No, footy's like
it's a 360-degree game, aerial ping
I
pong,
don't want to sound biased.
crash tackles, skillful left and right. Got your steel side bottoms and your mad jack doors and your...
It's a game for everyone. You can be all shapes and sizes and still have a role to play.
Correct. And I think having 18 different positions, it's one that's made for multiple body types rather than, netball, obviously you've got your taller defenders and shooters and then your speedier wingers and centres. But
and I think, too, it's hard because Australia is like the hub of netball. It's a Commonwealth sport.
Yeah, but
it's not like Australian rules go international.
I was going to not bring that up because, obviously the International Rules Series kind of...
That's why they don't even play Australian rules football.
Went down the Gurgle a little bit.
I think they play every 2 years.
The International Series, it's
it'll
on
be
every
interesting
year.
to see in 20 years if they're just going to... Like, there's all that development in other countries with our wonderful sport. But if you look at wow factor, I know what I would want to be watching. Athleticism...
It's just the contact element of AFL and the need to run, change direction with the ball, with contact, makes it more athletic than netball.
Yeah.
AFL wins. Sorry, KP.
Yeah, sorry to all the netball fans. That probably goes half out. Listener base will probably drop from 8 to 4. AFL or Australian rules football. Never call it AFL. You don't play Australian Football League, you play Australian rules football.
Yeah, but calling it ARF is weird.
Alright, let's bring it in.
Just call it footy.
Footy, but then the people get upset.
Aussie rules. Alright, next one. Tennis and rugby league. Now, we're very interested to hear your thoughts on this one, J Pulse.
Tennis is quite... I like tennis, but I only like tennis for like 2 weeks of the year when the Australian Open's in town.
Yeah.
I'd like to like tennis more, but...
I hear more about tennis now when there's an outrageous thing said by one of the players than actually watching the game.
We're pretty golden era in terms of being able to watch guys like Federer and Djokovic and Nadal and like Serena Williams.
And Gail Monfils.
Gail. What a man. They're pretty remarkable athletes. And like they don't have an off season.
Skill set's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you need an off season though?
I don't think every athlete needs an off season. But they play 11 months of the year.
There you go. They got a month of off season.
Yeah.
They're
quite impressive. Like particularly those Grand Slam matches, they can go for the women 2 hours, 2.5 hours. The men can go 5, 6.
Yeah, well, that's pretty hectic. That's from an athleticism point of view, it's huge. from a wow factor, when Fed and the Joker are playing, it's very enjoyable to watch.
Rugby league's quite insular, like it's more of a Commonwealth game. It's not a worldly game.
Yeah.
If I
a few Commonwealth games on the left side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Or sports. I don't know.
If I was choosing a rugby, I'd choose Union.
Yeah. Did Union make it?
I hope so. Yeah, it sounds
yes, it did. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But
I'd probably go tennis, to be honest.
Yeah, tennis.
And I can't believe I'm saying that with our
league. Some of the rules in the league are very hard to accept as a person that enjoys Australian rules football. So you only get 6 goes and you got to kick it. It's just weird.
I don't know. I kind of enjoy that because you've got a finite amount of time and a finite amount of plays to make something happen.
Yeah,
I'm changing my vote. I'm going rugby league.
No, I'm sticking with tennis here.
All right, rock off.
No. Let's flush this out. The rugby league. What are we talking? Wow factor.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Billy's shoulder charge.
We'll go to 5. Wow factor.
Wow factor. I would say.
Tennis is pretty.
Rugby league tries tackles. I would say wow factor would be tennis because you get to a match point or a tie break and it's exceptional. So
watchability is tennis for me.
See, I'd say rugby. Tackles and stuff.
I'll give you that one.
So 1-1. Athleticism.
Tennis. These guys are running straight line.
Yeah, but getting hit over and over again.
That's not athletic. That means you just got concrete head.
Yeah, but strong boys. Strength isn't athletic. Okay, being able to produce absorb force with the skill to have the technical capabilities to put the ball where you want it. Concentration. Okay, tennis wins athleticism, so that's 2-1. Mass appeal, tennis much bigger. Okay.
Tennis wins.
Tennis wins. Bravo.
Thank you. What do we got next?
We got baseball and softball you put into one sport, which I guess is sexist, I don't really know.
Well, baseball was the male sport and softball was the female sport from what I know of.
Not sexist then. And
I think they cross over a little bit, but
okay. Well, yeah, same thing basically, aren't they?
They both have bases. They both have bats. They both have balls. They both have 9 players on the diamond field.
Diamond?
Pitcher. Baseball pitcher throws overhand.
Yep.
Softball pitcher throws underhand.
And some of those softball pitchers are outrageous. How fast they pitch.
Oh yeah.
Underhand.
Big windmill.
Woo! It's pretty impressive. I like it.
Generated by a lot of force. I think it's coming back. Obviously, with baseball being such a popular sport in Japan, I think it's coming back in Tokyo in 2020.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it popular in Japan?
Baseball's massive.
Yeah.
Like outside of America, I'd say baseball's probably the biggest sport in the world. Maybe sumo. I don't know.
In Japan, you mean? Not the world.
No, yeah, for them, yeah, baseball's massive over there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Soccer, I think, is pretty big as well.
Track and field, though.
I think track and field is the purest of all sports, so I don't have an issue with just bumping track and field across here.
It wins for me in a second.
There's so many things that I'm sure we're going to have a conversation.
We're going to have a big conversation about it when we get the next round.
Yeah, I think it's up there in the favourites in terms of winning this bracket, I feel.
So the next one is basketball and darts. So let me push a case for darts.
I think you're pushing it downhill fast.
I think darts is the kind of sport that takes such fine motor skills.
It's only real target sport on the list.
Yeah, and it's probably not an accident. I don't know, darts, no athleticism, really. Fine motor skills, impressive. I wouldn't, it's only such a small part.
Do you know they have to ban them from drinking beer?
Why?
Because it slows their reactions down and makes them a better thrower.
Yeah. It's like a beta blocker.
Yeah, for sure.
But watching darts,
watchability, you see those guys that go crazy.
Oh, mate.
In the world... 180. It's recently come to Melbourne. It's always on around Christmas time.
Yeah,
the World Championship.
I went and saw it a couple of years ago when the
you threw all the chairs in the middle.
When chairs were everywhere, mate. It was hectic. We were up on the first level, so we got a nice view of people being hit in the face by chairs.
I think basketball
wins, obviously.
All the dart players out there.
Yes. The next one's an interesting one though.
Yeah. Volleyball, beach and indoor versus UFC, MMA and We've got WWE.
May have
Push
put,
it all in this. I don't think WWE needs to be.
may have put WWE.
It's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine.
As a bit of a joke.
teenager.
Really?
Yeah.
Pulse. Who were you? Were you more of an Undertaker fan?
I
Triple
was
H?
Rock all the way.
Yeah, okay, fair.
The Rock was the
was
Hardy
he?
Boys.
What was The Rock's? I like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
Never really watched it. But The Rock, what was his tagline? Was it?
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
That's right.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, so WWE is not one of our 32 sports, obviously.
I don't think it's a sport. It's like a male soap opera.
Yeah, fair. With extreme athleticism and wow factor, and it actually does pretty well on our criteria system, but it's not a sport, so carry on. UFC MMA, I think, is obviously
It's growing.
It's the fastest growing sport of the last decade.
I'm not a watcher. I struggle to watch it. I can't understand it.
Yeah.
We talked about boxing earlier.
Yeah, I think it obviously trumps boxing because of the multi-layered aspect of mixed martial arts rather than it just being one of the many.
I get it.
There's striking, there's grappling, there's...
I think volleyball's a very underrated sport, though.
Well, it's, obviously volleyball wouldn't have even been a conversation prior to meeting the Fizz and talking about it and watching it and being a little bit more in tune with what's going on. Like, it's one of the biggest sports in China and some European
South
countries.
America.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go. That's more beach volleyball, right?
No, Brazil quite successful in indoor volleyball.
Getting the pins out on
America
on the beach.
quite strong. Big
Yeah.
college sport.
Yeah. See, I think
I'm leaning towards volleyball, but that's probably because I have a bit of a disdain for UFC. Not a disdain, I just don't enjoy it. Like, I don't
from
know.
a wow factor and watchability point of view, if the top guys are fighting in UFC, then I will watch it. I don't watch many sports. I don't watch many fights. I don't watch many of the UFCs. Are up to like 228 or something. But in a couple of weeks, I will be diving in and watching Conor and Khabib. So I don't know. I think UFC.
Volleyball's athletic.
Yeah, but mass appeal. I would say UFC is probably bigger now. Predictability. It's so unpredictable.
Is it?
Yeah. Like the better guys usually win, as for most sports, but it takes one hit, one clip, one knee, one wrong decision, one wrong move.
Volleyball, you got the beach volleyball aspect of it as well.
You're talking about like rigs.
No, that's quite skill in itself. Being able to
do it in sand.
In sand.
Good save. Good.
I don't know why they've got rules for their female clothing compared to the male clothing. There, the males get to wear a lot more.
They get to, or they have to.
Well, they have to, I think.
That's unfortunate. Get the guys' rigs out.
They're at board shorts and they go topless. Or they can wear like a singlet, where the girls just wear bikinis, which is a little bit unfair.
It helps with movability and things of that nature, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, my vote would be for UFC.
Yeah.
I'll let you pick.
No,
Let you call
I think you're right. I just think volleyball.
There's something just primal about watching people punch each other in the head.
I'm not a fan of it myself.
You're a bit more of a lover instead of a fighter, though.
You would say that. I know it's pretty pure in terms of trying to beat one man, but I think volleyball has.
I think it's the purest. Just two people in a cage,
Yeah, you can
trying not to be killed. It has to win.
I think so. Unfortunately for volleyball,
Here's one you'll have a bit to say about: cycling and NFL.
cycling wins hands down for me. NFL's one of the most boring sports I've ever watched.
Look, I agree.
A game that lasts for 40 minutes can go for like 4 hours.
40 minutes total playing time and 4 hours.
Is it 60 minutes? Is it 15-minute quarters?
To be honest, couldn't tell you.
I know a lot of people like it, and I tried to watch it, but
Yeah, I agree.
I don't get it.
For me, it's like baseball. It's one of those sports that even basketball for mine, because I'm not a big basketball fan. It's one of those sports that I feel as though I should want to watch, but I just
basketball's
don't.
over in 2 hours. Like that NFL goes for 3.5, 4.
Think how much work you get done in 2 hours.
Well, how much could you get done in 4?
Yeah, a lot, twice as much even.
It depends how productive you are.
That's true. Productivity and busyness are two different things. Anyway, I digress.
Well, cycling you've got mountain biking, you've got BMX, you've got road cycling.
You've got the tour.
Yeah, and you got in your endurance, your grand tours, and those kind of things. You got time trials. You've got team time trials. You've got the velodrome, which is an underrated sport people kind of forget about between Olympics.
Do you want to sell it anymore, or
I think I don't have to. It's already written in.
cycling wins?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that like American football, but in terms of the American sports, I'd take basketball before I take American football.
Agreed.
Then baseball, softball, but then baseball.
I'd take NFL.
Oh no, I'd go basketball, ice hockey. Then the next two, I don't know. Really.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Well, I think from an athleticism point of view, the sheer speed, strength, power from a NFL point of view is exceptional.
Yeah.
I'm
not doubting that.
Hats off to blokes like Lockie Edwards who just get tackled after they kick and stuff.
He rarely gets tackled.
No, it's a good kick though.
I know Lockie, he's a great man, but like he waltzes on and kicks a ball and then waltzes off and probably doesn't come back onto the field for. It's very specialised in their position.
It's the dream. Yeah.
It gets paid probably a lot of money to do so, and I understand it, but it's like it's weird. You get like 4 chances to move the ball 10 yards.
What's with you in sports that don't give you X amount of chances?
It's just I don't get it.
No, play on. Cycling wins for mine.
Yeah,
all right.
That's going to be a good matchup. The next one.
The next one's going to be a quickie. Olympic weightlifting, which the true test of
strength or power. I'd say power.
Of power, strength and power, and obviously the technique and technical aspect of it's huge.
Flexibility. They're quite flexible.
Yeah, mobility. Yeah. Versus motocross, which. We obviously can split into actual motos, motocross and supercross, which
frankly, we're talking about like doing tricks and like shit.
Well, I think supercross is doing a little bit more of the old aerial play, some would say, whereas
freestyle
motocross is just getting freestyle motocross.
Supercross is the racing one, isn't
it? It's still getting from A to B as quickly as you can, but going high at the same time. Motocross is pretty intense. After coaching and seeing a lot of the athletes from motocross compete, they are a different breed of human.
Oh, no doubt. Those guys that do like the double backflips and stuff, going over like those massive jumps.
There's the freestyle stuff, like the racing.
That's what I'm thinking.
The racing they set at like 160, 180 beats per minute for 20, 25 minutes. It's insane.
Once again, though, I think you can buy victories in that kind of sense. Whereas the freestyle side of it is probably more up to the rider. Whereas the racing style things, like if you've got the most money, you're probably going to win.
If any of the boys I coach are listening, I would love to hear your thoughts on whether money can buy wins at the top level, or whether all of the teams are very
by speed. Probably not wins.
Okay, yeah, good by speed.
Because obviously you need some luck and those kind of things along the way.
Ollie weightlifting, look, take it or leave it. It's
good to watch.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to
every 4 years. You probably say, that's cool.
Motocross wins,
and you see like the smaller guys, like when the bar bends and stuff like that. That's pretty amazing.
See this 52 kilo class.
And you always see like a pretty. Apologies, like you always see like a bad injury in the weightlifting.
Yeah. Oh, because motocross is free from injuries.
I'm not a big motocross watcher. Like I won't sit down and watch motocross.
Neither will I, but that's partly because it's not really on free-to-air TV.
I think motocross wins that for sure.
The next one, table tennis and gymnastics. I know what you want to vote for.
It has to be gymnastics.
Good. Your heart's saying table tennis, your head's saying gymnastics?
No.
Aren't you the best table tennis player at Kiwi Rock?
Far from it. I think in terms of athleticism, gymnasts are probably the strongest athletes in the world. Almost all-round athlete.
All-round in terms of
power,
body positioning,
flexibility, coordination.
Well, gymnastics is one of those sports that...
You got a lot of gymnasts come through the...
We do have a lot, and they are freaks. They can do some silly things. You throw a ball at them, though, and it's hilarious.
Well, unless they're rhythmic gymnastics, where they have to use the ball in the clubs.
Yeah, maybe.
Where do you stand on dancing here? Is that counted in gymnastics? Is that a form of gymnastics?
Dancing?
Well, cheerleading technically is gymnastics. That's what I learned at
uni. It kind of goes it kind of goes gymnastics, sport aerobics, cheerleading.
Aerobics?
Sport aerobics. It's hectic.
Oh, no doubt. Calisthenics.
Yeah, well, yeah.
A few people around here that do calisthenics.
I think gymnastics has to win. Table tennis
like it's
exceptional,
quite. If
but-
you sit down and watch like a gymnastics competition,
I could watch
the
it.
team event,
Yeah.
where they have all the different athletes come in and do their tricks.
Wow factor and watchability, it's just huge. It's just outrageous.
Yeah, and I think too an underrated watch is when at the end of the gymnastics where they all come together and produce like that's a bit of a free round where they can do some crazy shit that's not within. That's like a gala. It's a gymnastics gala at the end of every
flips and stuff.
major competition. That's really good to watch.
Yeah, I think gymnastics easy peasy.
Yeah, table tennis is cool, but it's more of a recreational game.
Oh, look, I watch.
Who can forget about
professionals? Wouldn't say that, but
oh yeah, but like it's a great game. It's over pretty quick.
The table's been folded up for a while. Maybe we need to get it back out. Get it rolling again.
Beer pong.
Beer pong? Oh, yeah.
Table tennis. It's a game for all. Like a lot of people can play it.
True.
A lot of older people play it probably as well.
Much like golf, we didn't give that much love, so I reckon gymnastics it is.
Yeah, we probably go on for a little bit for gymnastics. There's so many different elements.
I'm sure we'll come back to it and seeing it one.
Yeah.
So the next one, we've put the marathon and then ultra marathon endurance running in as one category. And I think it's the truest of all endurance sports because there's a set distance that truly loads up on your aerobic capacity, but it's your ability to maintain a certain speed. And obviously we just saw the world record broken a couple of weeks ago. And you know,
what a humble man he is.
What an incredible human. He's just I just want to
get him to do a podcast, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be elite.
You can get some contacts.
Yeah.
Speak to Nike.
Yeah. And it's just one of those for him to be able to run. What was it 2:01 4:30?
Yeah, he broke it by like
a minute and a half,
80 seconds, I think, in the end. Which is enormous in terms of shifting that needle that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's like
he obviously tried to break 2, which was helped along with a lot of scientific research and not a sanctioned event.
If you guys haven't seen the documentary Breaking 2, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, the National Geographic one, not
Correct.
the actual Breaking 2 that Nike kind of produced.
Yeah,
it's quite amazing. Australian involved in that. Collis Birmingham was one of the pacers.
There you go.
Yeah, good old Collis.
Get around him. Shout out to Collis.
Collis, if you're listening. It's come up against surfing, and I know Virtus has a lot of surfers.
We do.
Also, probably has a few marathon runners as well.
We do.
I might be a little bit biased here, so I might have to let you probably decide. I've done a little bit of surfing, but
look, surfing's an incredible sport. I think to be able to do what they do on the board is pretty incredible. I think they're two, like I said before, two fairly meditative sports. You kind of get into the zone and get to reconnect with your subconscious a little bit. So
something about the water.
Yeah, being in the water and being out there by yourself. And
I think too with the marathon and having run 2 in proper ones. If you ever lose touch of what the human race is about, go watch a marathon.
Everyone getting up and around each other.
Yeah, it just makes you feel a lot better about yourself, and not a lot of, but you have faith in the human race after witnessing one of these events.
Yeah, I like it.
That's a good quote. I don't know if I've got it right or verbatim correct, but
mate,
I'll find it and we'll pop it in the show notes.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, they're amazing, and hopefully when you go up there in a couple of weeks' time and witness
get around KP,
you probably feel it too.
I think marathon has to win. I apologise to all the surfers, but
we're housed currently by it.
You've just been dumped.
Hey, tons. Yeah, I think marathon you got the 100-mile races, so 160k.
Oh, mate,
Surf Coast Century, that's just pure man versus man.
There's kind of a bit of a growing collective in the US starting to go further and further, and there was it's called the Bigfoot 200, which is 200 miles. Which ended up being 230, but they called it the 200 because I don't know why the hell not.
There's some good stories out there.
It's just going further and further. If anyone wants to look up guys like Cam Haines and girls like Courtney DeWalter, pretty crazy to see how far they run. Just tick the legs over, eh?
An Australian guy, Madge Backhausen.
Yeah,
he's a local. Yeah, he's going well.
Good.
He just took up running and now he's doing that kind of full time.
Takes a different kind of person to be able to
out on the trails too. There's a lot of good books out there on that kind of stuff.
Good from you. All right. Surfing losers. Marathon's up.
Yay.
The next one, field hockey and swimming. I think just pick one. I don't care.
I think field hockey.
Swimming, yeah.
Swimming.
We did come from the ocean once upon a time.
Yeah, I think swimming, in terms of mass appeal, like you've got to be in a pretty privileged state to be able to swim. Like not all countries have swimming pools or access to swimming pools.
Yeah.
Hard to forget about like Eric the eel from
Eric the eel. That was
Sydney Olympics.
That was
He
outrageous.
used to train in like a river or some shit, with crocodiles in it. But I guess, yeah, field hockey I think is an underrated sport here in Australia.
Yep.
The
Agreed.
Athleticism,
I played it at school a bit, left wing, get around me.
watchability. I think the skills they have are very underestimated in terms of what they're able to produce. Once again, more of a Commonwealth style sport, but it's slowly branching out into other countries. So you've got countries like the Netherlands.
You've just seen the pictures of the girls' team, haven't you?
Argentina, Malaysia, who's in the Commonwealth, so probably should take that one back.
Look, I think field hockey wins for the.
Swimming is great, but once again, I think we live in a pretty privileged
Hockey's
geographical location for us to think swimming's a good sport.
Yeah, hockey sticks aren't cheap.
Swimming's not social. It's pretty boring to watch.
Imagine
Open water swimming. Have you seen much of that?
Oh, no.
No, don't waste your time.
Yeah, I think field hockey wins. I'll always watch field hockey come Olympics.
Yeah, and they go nuts for 70 minutes. I think they're down to an hour now, but it's crazy. Their athleticism is quite amazing, and they're fearless in terms of that ball.
Yeah. No, I think
Happening.
I think field hockey wins. The next one's an interesting one for mine because it's rugby union and soccer.
Rugby union is the better of the two rugbies, in my opinion.
Okay. League lost to tennis, so it's not coming from an incredible place.
I struggle with soccer. I think we talked about soccer in the last podcast I was in with Tommy.
It would have been about
it was right in the middle of the World Cup.
time. Yeah.
I know it's quite a popular sport in terms of its mass appeal. It's probably one of the most played sports in the world.
I think it is categorically the most watched sport in the world.
Yeah, it's played throughout the world.
The ball's pretty boring. Just bounces up and down normally.
Straight, yes. It's a sphere, it's spherical.
I think
they're quite skillful.
They are incredibly skillful, but to watch a 90-minute game for no result can be quite frustrating.
Yeah, and that's the tactical nature of the sport.
Yeah, and it obviously is a very tactical game with offside plays and formations and
rugby union. I think great to watch.
Yeah,
it's got a. I've been to the rugby sevens. That's amazing.
Oh yes,
that's something that you can watch.
To be honest, I was probably going to throw my vote in the soccer ring until you mentioned rugby sevens.
Rugby sevens is amazing.
From a mass appeal point of view, soccer wins. But however, from a wow factor, watchability, and athleticism point of view, I think rugby union wins. It's hard. We're gonna ruffle some feathers.
I tend to agree with you.
About ruffling feathers?
About rugby union being a better sport than soccer, particularly with the introduction of sevens.
And I'm not one that just classic AFL attitude and just blows it off and doesn't watch it. I've tried to watch it. Obviously...
Being a self-confessed sports tragic, I've actually never been to a live soccer game, and that will shock some people. And I just... can't find myself wanting to. This is coming from a guy that would watch most things, but never been to a live.
I'd potentially, if finances and time away permitted, would love to go to a World Cup because I think that would change my mind.
That's like the Olympic effect though. It's only once every 4 years. Like I struggle to watch it outside of those things.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I think rugby union wins, soccer loses. Sorry to the 4 billion people on Earth who watched the last World Cup or whatever it was. Next one. This is your end of the world.
Yeah.
We've got triathlon versus surf lifesaving. And surf lifesaving, obviously, a multitude of sports.
Yeah.
But the old Uncle Toby Classic, whatever it was called back in the day.
Yeah, so I grew up as a kid really watching on a Sunday afternoon, watching the Uncle Toby's
We'd
on.
come back from footy and I'd watch it, I remember.
Yeah?
Loved it.
Sunday afternoon in summer, Channel 10. You'll watch the surf lifesaving. Yeah. Blokes like Trevor Hendy catching bombs out the back. Like predictability, like it always threw up some interesting results because it'd be at the call of Mother Nature. Like this could be a big wave brewing out the back.
And it just rolls someone from 8th to first.
And that's, and blokes like Kai Hurst and Shannon Eckstein.
And nothing better than a
and the women too.
Bit of
I've
beach
seen a little
flags.
bit biased here because I've only named male athletes. Beach flags.
Yeah, beach flags.
The ski.
The ski, yeah.
The surf boats too.
Yeah.
But I still think triathlon, obviously it's a combination of 3 sports. I think it's fantastic.
I'm not going to try and pry away from this. I think surf lifesaving is exceptional, but triathlon, the sheer ability to go from the swimming to the running to the riding,
I think they're doing
a
better job at making it watchable with the introduction of like the team events at the Olympics coming up, and so you're going to have like those super fast events or super sprint events with 4 athletes from each country, 2 males, 2 females.
Oh,
that's
hello.
exciting. To see a triathlete like kill themselves for 20 minutes and then pass over to the next people, so that'll be interesting. And I guess watchability. An Olympic or a standard distance triathlon is over in 2 hours for the pros, so fits nicely into a little television package.
It does. It's
Whereas surf lifesaving, like it's
that surf lifesaving wins on watchability, 100%.
yeah.
It's the wow factor, I think.
And funnily enough,
wins.
both use the term Ironman.
Yeah. Who coined it?
I don't know. I reckon triathlon.
Who coined the phrase to coin a phrase?
That is a question for another time, Lachlan. I think that concludes round 1.
That does conclude round 1. So I think, because we've already spoken about the sports at length, I think this will be slightly quicker.
Yes, indeed.
We'll expedite the process for the final 16.
Yeah, Sweet 16, as they say in America. The NCAA basketball tournament. So we go back to the top. I assume to the left-hand side of the board.
Round 2 of match 1, ice hockey versus skiing and boarding.
I think it's ice hockey for me.
Ooh, because I probably won't jump on the TV to watch ice hockey, but I do enjoy watching some skiing and boarding. I've never played ice hockey. I have slid down a mountain on a board a couple of times. I think just
it makes it hard because obviously we just discussed this before.
Yeah, we fucked it up a bit. I'm okay with it. Ice hockey being a more pure sport, it's obviously a little bit more history behind ice hockey than there is around skiing and boarding, possibly.
Maybe.
But I think the availability...
Ice hockey is like a predominantly North American kind of style sport, though.
Yeah.
I know it's played in some European countries and here in Australia, but it doesn't have a lot of mass appeal. But you could probably argue the same thing with skiing and boarding.
Oh, you just got to have snow.
Yeah, obviously coming from a location where there's not a lot of it.
Oh, there's a bit going on at the moment.
Yeah.
Down at Hotham and Falls and whatnot.
Only in some areas. I don't know, it's a hard one for me.
This is where the hard decisions are made, Pulse. I'm gonna go skiing and boarding.
I think it's ice hockey, which
I think we bring out the tiebreak, the rock off.
I think in terms of if it's a sport, skiing and boarding is a group of sports, whereas ice hockey is a true sport.
All right, so pick the most impressive or the best sport within that group.
Of skiing and boarding.
Yeah, what would you say? Because
personally, I think it's going to be the half pipe or the freestyle terrain.
We haven't even talked about cross country skiing or the biathlon. They carry guns and just shoot stuff or shoot targets.
Yeah,
drop their heart rate, beta blockers. Yeah.
I still think ice hockey because it's still that skiing and boarding one's too broad for me.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I think
I'm happy.
What are you thinking of skiing and boarding when you?
Oh, I think aerial skiing. When I think of that and half pipe.
Yeah.
So I am more than happy to concede, and ice hockey is the winner.
Yes.
Handball and cricket. Cricket
Ooh, what's the
losers.
Cricket loses?
No, cricket wins.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon handball wins.
Oh, Jesus. I not a big cricket fan. Enjoy the enjoyment other people get out of cricket. So many people love it. I think 2020 is quite enjoyable. Haven't watched enough handball, so to be honest, you've got the final call on this. You got the final say.
Oh fuck, that's probably cricket for our Southern Hemisphere viewers, listeners. I would argue handball, but what do you reckon?
I think cricket wins.
You think?
Yeah. We're in Australia.
Yeah, okay.
AFL and tennis.
I think it's AFL.
AFL wins, surely. Track and field and basketball. This is a 10-minute conversation for you.
As much as I love basketball, I think still track and field wins that. Track and field is the purest of, as I said before, it's the purest of all sports.
Well, I think
who can run the fastest, jump the
things
fastest,
like
throw the furthest.
Javelin and long jump and hurdles and things like that aren't they're not the things I think about when I think track and field. I think your 1500s and your 5Kers and obviously your hundies.
I think everyone
have a different favourite event too.
Yeah, I know, but what do people most remember about Olympics? Is it going to be the 100-metre sprint?
Probably.
Is that probably going to be the most viewed event in the Olympic Games?
It's a really good question. We haven't done much Googling today, but I'm going to Google that.
I think it
most
would be.
Watch.
I can remember back to the last Olympics when it was Usain versus was it Gatlin?
Yes. Yeah. That was pretty heavy.
That was good. I remember watching it at school. It was crazy. Everyone was on Usain's, and I think it's the blue ribbon event of the Olympics, and that's track and field. I'm a bit biased. I love track and field.
If Twitter's anything to go by, Usain Bolt was the most talked about athlete at the last Olympics.
There you go. I think that answers the question. I think basketball is great. Unfortunately, it just fell.
2.1 billion people watched the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games.
In total?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
London Olympics is heading the list at the moment. More people watch the Olympics than watch the World Cup. So, yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. I'd say track and field every day of the week.
I agree.
Ooh.
Other side of the board?
Yeah, other side of the board. We've got 12 teams left, 12 sports left. It's getting exciting.
It is getting exciting.
UFC and cycling.
We're going to be split on this one, I reckon.
It has to be UFC for me.
I think it's cycling for me.
Okay. How do we decide? Are you going to let me throw out a rock paper scissors or?
No, that's just luck. Cycling is more variable. It's got different disciplines. UFC is just like two guys.
So the 18 different martial arts that can make up a UFC fighter's repertoire.
But that's still under the one. Like you've got mountain biking, you've got velodrome, you've got
wrestling,
road racing,
you've got jiu-jitsu, you've got
I get that.
Karate.
But if they were good sports, they would
striking,
you have to
kickboxing.
combine them.
Ooh, no, I think you combine it to basically be obviously within parameters, but almost a more pure sport because it's just don't let that guy beat the hell out of you and you try and beat the hell out of him. And I think for UFC, it's such an interesting sport because your strengths are going to be variable to the next person you fight's strengths. So it is quite difficult to find the best fighter because fighter A might be better than fighter B, but fighter B might be better than fighter C, and fighter C might be able to beat fighter A. So
I know if I had a choice, I'd be watching cycling.
So what's like the pinnacle event in cycling? Tour?
Probably Tour de France.
Do you think more people would watch the Tour de France or more people would watch Conor and Khabib in a couple of weeks? Because I don't know the answer to that question. It might be the Tour.
I don't know.
How are we deciding?
I think if you go by that UFC wins that. In terms of the amount of people watching it.
Well, I
think it takes you have to be really into cycling to watch the Tour de France.
Yeah.
I don't know the actual ratings of it.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
Obviously, at its height, Lance fucked it up for everyone a little bit.
And there's still questions about its
validity, but obviously UFC hasn't certainly not been free from doping allegations. It's obviously seemingly being.
As I said, I'm in cycling squadron, but I can understand why UFC beats it.
I'm happy to take the lead on this one and pick UFC.
Yeah. Okay. Begrudgingly, I probably have to agree.
Well, UFC is going to dive deep, I think, after this. So motocross and gymnastics. Gymnastics wins simply for me.
Simply.
Simply.
Yeah, I think without gymnastics, motocross wouldn't exist.
Ooh, good.
Oh, the freestyle motocross. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I think gymnastics is.
And I think like your argument against motorsports before comes into this when we're trying to pick from purity of a sport. Obviously, that wasn't one of our criterion, but I think what gymnasts are able to do with their bodies, and obviously what motocross athletes are able to do with their bodies and the bike. I think gymnastics has to win.
Yeah, I agree.
Marathon and field hockey. Well,
in terms of wow factor, it's field hockey. In terms of watchability, you'd probably argue that it's field hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Athleticism,
marathon has to be.
Yeah.
Policy, since the dawn of time, mankind has been hunting beasts.
Yes, very true. Mass appeal.
Oh, marathon has
everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it. Like you said,
don't need stick.
It's something that we can all train for if we want. It's not something you guys we can just go out and do.
Predictability.
Predictability. I think. I don't know, marathon. Your best couple of marathon runners and how they're going to finish.
But you need a bit of luck along the way too.
Yeah. We got I can't remember the guy's name from Breaking 2, the half marathon runner, who kept blowing up in marathons because he just couldn't get going.
His body and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think marathon wins for me. I field hockey, I wouldn't really know it exists outside the Olympics. Marathon, it's something that's a constant undertone. Obviously, having athletes that train for it and
very pure sport.
I would say marathon.
Yeah, I agree.
Good, marathon wins. Rugby, the last one of round 2. Rugby union and the triathlon. You can have a bias to it. I get it. Being an Iron Man yourself.
Yeah. Going to our 5 criteria though. Wow factor.
I think rugby union wins on our criteria. Watchability, rugby, athleticism. It's probably 2 ends of the spectrum, really. Strength, speed, power, and
endurance.
Just endurance.
Mass appeal. But rugby union is quite elitist.
Yeah.
It has that kind of feel to it.
It does, but it's not necessarily the cheapest sport to jump into triathlon.
No.
This is a toughie. Predictability. There's obviously a lot can happen in the water and
the bike in the run. Yeah. It's a hard one.
Obviously bias is going to come into this a lot, but I find it hard to not pick triathlon because I just don't have too much interest in rugby. But I think if we're being true to the criteria, rugby wins. What are you thinking?
Yeah, we're just looking at the bracket too. If triathlon goes into the next one,
doesn't matter about the next one.
Oh no, but it'll make it very difficult to kind of discern between the two. Obviously, marathon is a big part of what it is.
Mm.
I think rugby union does win.
I think if we're like I said, staying true to the criteria, rugby union wins.
Elite 8.
The incredible 8. Down to an AFL final series. Ice hockey or cricket? Wouldn't have picked ice hockey getting this far, to be honest, but
it's had a soft draw.
But it has. But I think it beats cricket.
We have never played it.
It's fun to watch.
I don't think our bias towards the Mighty Ducks growing up in our childhood should really come into this.
Quack.
No, I watched it at school the other day.
Quack.
Good way to teach group
quack.
Don't even get me started. I could do a whole nother podcast on the Mighty Ducks.
Clack. Favourite quote?
There's too many to choose.
Give me one.
Nah.
Favourite character?
Favourite character? That has to be Goldberg.
Good. Alright. What are we going? Because I reckon
ice hockey,
ice hockey.
watchability, athleticism. You'd probably say ice hockey.
Yeah.
Mass appeal. Probably cricket. Predictability.
Probably ice hockey.
Or unpredictability is
Ice
probably a
hockey's
better way to
bit,
frame
bit
it.
more unpredictable, yeah.
I guess 2020 is a bit more unpredictable than the Test cricket.
Yeah. This is a toughie.
Mass appeal. That's a tough one. I'd probably say cricket gets that one. Just because the fact it's from the subcontinent.
Does cricket win? Cricket beat ice hockey? Yeah.
I think it has to. It makes a mockery of our system if it doesn't. We've probably just gone against everything that we've said over the past, I don't know, even how long we've been in here.
Yeah, it's been a bit. But we got to wrap it up sometime.
Yeah, we're getting there.
AFL and track and field. So, I agree. I can't not say AFL. Play it, I love it, I watch
Australian
it.
rules, don't call it AFL. You don't play Australian Football League.
Shut up, you don't play NHL either, you play ice hockey, so...
Exactly.
We wrote ice hockey on it, damn it. It is the week of grand final. The Collingwood Football Club is going to win this week by 17 points. Read on week. 17 points.
Take it to the bank.
We'll be
Put your house on it.
We'll be 5 points up.
Gamble responsibly.
We'll be 5 points up, and the boys will just kick 2 quick goals, and history will be made. So I'm
going to argue it's track and field. Mass appeal, athleticism, unpredictability. AFL probably wins on watchability and wow factor. That's 3-2 in my books.
Which track and field beat athleticism?
Yes.
Because it depends. Like athleticism, is it being elite, like properly elite at one part of athleticism, being speed or...
How about a decathlete?
Yeah, fair. However, tackles, hangers, Cyril.
Yeah, that's wow factor.
What about Cyril?
That's wow factor.
He's so athletic.
I understand that. Is he though? What events could Cyril go to and be good at?
Oh, probably none.
What athletes could probably go into AFL?
Probably blitzarms.
He was a 1500 metre runner, not a steepler. Many people think.
Really?
Yeah, he tried the steeple like twice and realised it wasn't for him. It's common misconception that everyone thinks.
A lot of your junior athletics, little lass.
Nick Rewalt could have been an elite 400 metre runner. Could have been.
Could have. Yeah, I don't know. I find it hard to not bet for AFL because
I reckon that's a bias.
That's the whole point of doing this. It's all in our opinion, so I'm allowed to be biased.
You have to. So we've got. Wow factor and watchability. AFL gets it.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue athleticism is athletics because it's in the name. Mass appeal. More people in the world perform athletics, and unpredictability. I think.
And I think because it's almost like the skiing and boarding incidents from before. There's so many different events like track and field. We talk about you could almost class the marathon as part of that. I know it's not.
Oh, it should be.
But we could have classed it as that.
What are you saying if you want to... when you think of track and field, what are you thinking of? 100 metres?
Oh, track and field, I think of, anything 1500 and lower in terms of races and events. And I think of your discuses and shot puts and things like that.
So you're telling me that AFL wins based on the fact that track and field is a collection of sports, whereas AFL is a pure sport?
Correct.
It's hard to argue on that logic then, isn't it? Because that's how we ruled out skiing and boarding.
Yeah.
Australian rules footy it is.
Oh, yes.
Begrudgingly.
And I think, it's an honourable mention to track and field because it probably would have gone close to all the way if AFL had picked it at the post.
Maybe you have to think about, if we were to do this again...
I'll put an asterisk.
A team sports bracket.
Ooh, yeah.
That would have made
individual sports,
a little bit invested in individual sport.
Yeah, obviously 400 metre relay, quite entertaining.
Yeah, 4x4.
Yeah, very entertaining. Mixed 4x4 I saw the other day, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a bit more exciting. But yeah, no, AFL. Australian rules football.
Alright, UFC and gymnastics.
I think gymnastics.
I would probably agree with you just. Here's why. Athleticism. Oh, Jesus, it's hard. I don't know. If we go and,
There's going to be more wow factors in gymnastics than USD.
You reckon?
Well, think about a standard gymnastics competition.
Yeah.
There's five apparatus.
Okay, yeah, fair.
5 athletes performing, 6 athletes performing at once, whereas UFC is just 2 male or female, 2 athletes just beating their
Punching each other in the head.
punching holes in one another.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree.
Watchability, it's probably UFC.
Yep. If you like that kind of thing. If that tickles your pickle.
Athleticism. I'm probably going to say gymnastics.
Gymnastics definitely for athleticism. So
mass appeal,
UFC.
Predictability.
Even.
Yeah,
I think gymnastics wins.
Just.
Who wins out of rugby union and the marathon though?
If we go down that path, is what we agreed on before. It's rugby union. And if you were going to tell me rugby union was going to get all the way to the final 4, I would have spewed up.
I might spew up now. We're up to 4. We're down to 4.
Final 4.
Final 4. Cricket and AFL. AFL every day of the week.
It's hard to mount an argument for cricket, to be honest, based on...
Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get on the other side.
Strange.
What would punter say?
Ricky Ponting. I think he played a bit of AFL Australian rules football. Being a Tasmanian boy.
We've got him on the line. No, we don't. Imagine that.
He's into his golf and his greyhounds.
Yeah, I wonder what he'd pick out of golf and cricket. I think AFL has to win.
Australian rules football. If you say AFL again, I'll...
It's written as AFL. Aussie rules. Alright, so Aussie rules is in the final. Shocker.
Could have just skipped forward an hour.
You could.
If you were listening at the start, just...
It doesn't work. Because we're at the end.
Yeah, don't. Just figure out I just said that. Hopefully you'll edit that out.
Alright, no I won't. Gymnastics and rugby union. Gymnastics wins for mine.
Yeah, I agree.
So, we finish up.
This is going to come out like it's...
I think it's a cool 2 to finish on. Because for me, track and field would have beaten cricket, ice hockey, UFC, gymnastics, marathon, rugby union.
If track and field was on the other side of the draw, I think it would have come through all the way. No, I think gymnastics would have pipped it, to be honest.
Ooh. Yes, I would argue for track and field.
As I said, it's hard to group all the track and field sports together.
It's just hard to find enough criteria to rate the best sport ever, which is why it's a beautiful subjective exercise we get to
take part
play with. Yeah, I don't know. So gymnastics, Olympic sport, incredible athleticism.
So it goes mass appeal is gymnastics.
I don't know. It depends how you quantify mass appeal. Is it just the number of people watching it? I think that's what we came up with earlier.
It's worldly.
But so that's where it's hard because we spend so much of our time surrounded by Australian sports.
Yeah, but we have access to gymnastics.
We do. So, okay, wow factor, Aussie rules wins for me.
Yeah. I would probably argue gymnastics probably got a bigger wow factor than footy.
Yeah.
Like a triple forward somersault on the floor.
It's just stuck or it's just like, well, yeah, that's cool.
I think watchability, it goes to Australian rules football.
Okay, so wow factor is, gymnastics is probably... But what about, how sitting on someone's head? It's pretty wow.
That is wow, but that's a rare occurrence where in gymnastics it happens all the time.
Have you not seen Collingwood play? It takes like for a week. Yeah,
I understand that, but still, it doesn't happen every time someone steps out onto an apparatus.
Okay, fair. Watchability is AFL, you're right.
Yeah. Gymnastics is hard to watch too because there's a lot going on.
Athleticism, because this is one where Aussie rules is like, say 100% is the world's best. Aussie rules sits at like 75% for everything, in terms of endurance, in terms of speed, power, and obviously different players and whatnot. So you've got to be a jack of all trades. Gymnastics, you are probably the 95th percentile in terms of
flexibility.
flexibility, mobility,
Strength.
body control, strength, relative strength. You're probably in the top %.
Coordination. Proprioception.
Yeah, no balls. They suck at balls. I would.
Unless you're rhythmic.
Yeah. I would pick gymnastics for athleticism.
I think. Yeah, if you line comes back to that question, who's the fitter athlete? I think a gymnast is still fitter than an AFL player.
Well, yeah. Then it depends what fitness is, because like anaerobic capacity would be Aussie rules, but I think strength, speed, power would be gymnastics.
Flexibility
is obviously important. Coordination's important.
Proprioception.
Yeah.
Balance. Coordination.
Yeah, and they're individual athletes rather than a team, and I know it's hard to bank that against each other, but Aussie, like obviously the communication side of being in a team sport's important, but
gymnastics is still a team element, but
yeah,
individually based.
Individual scores, yeah,
added up.
Well, okay, I would say gymnastics wins athleticism.
I think with that though, I think it's gymnastics because mass appeal is gymnastics. Or do you think mass appeal, particularly in I don't know, how do you take this in Australia? You probably argue it's Aussie rules, but worldly sense, how much of an appeal is taken to Aussie rules outside of Australia? To be honest,
so last week someone shared a video of the Daily Telegraph, which is one of the ones up in Queensland, possibly.
Yeah. Well, it struggles to get range outside of Victoria.
But AFL got nothing after after Collingwood beat Richmond in the prelim. It had nothing in about AFL on the Saturday, and I think for that reason, gymnastics wins.
So that means gymnastics is the better sport?
But it's not. I don't think it is, but on our criteria, it probably is. It's an amazing sport. It's an incredible sport to watch. Did gymnastics just win? Or can we call it a draw? Is that allowed?
That would make the last however minutes...
82 minutes.
Useless.
Oh, not useless. Got us thinking about sports and stuff. Does it make you want to watch more sport after this conversation? Or does it make you want to watch more certain sports more? Because I still am not interested in watching cricket. I kind of really want to.
How did cricket make it all the way to the last four then?
Because it was against handball and rowing and golf.
Yeah.
How would you do it differently next time?
I don't know. You'd have to maybe find one parameter that ranked them and then seeded them accordingly.
I wonder what Google says if I say, what is the best sport ever?
How do you do
I don't know.
Best? According to our 5 criteria, I think that gymnastics wins 4-1. Because you're one slip off the balance beam away from it, you not winning.
Yeah. Oh, and Ultimate Frisbee didn't get a run either. I'm a bit upset about that.
About Frolf.
Frisbee golf?
Yeah. It's that guy off YouTube that throws
So, if I Googled the greatest sport in the world...
Yeah.
And you know what? It's come up with Ultimate Frisbee.
That's not true.
And that's rubbish. Huffington Post, go away.
Is that even a true newspaper? I don't think it is.
Yeah. The chick who runs it was on Rogan. Anyway. Pauls, thanks for coming and talking sports.
Did we come away with a definitive answer?
No, it was a draw.
It can't be a draw. There was 5 for I think according to our 5 criteria, gymnastics wins that.
Yeah, but according
obviously, what your favourite sport is.
According to my common sense, it's stupid.
But if we were in another existence and we say we lived in China.
Yes, they love volleyball.
They also love gymnastics.
Volleyball's their biggest sport, I think.
Volleyball?
Soccer? So. Don't think so.
We have a geographical bias here because we believe Aussie rules is the best sport?
Oh, of course we can have a geographical bias, but...
It's hard to really quantify this.
It is.
But according to our
we knew that at the start.
Criteria.
I think
this is good fun.
Gymnastics wins, but I think we're wrong.
So that just makes the last 90 minutes just worthless. So
it was fun.
If you accidentally skip to the end, don't continue to listen. just move on to the next one.
Good from you.
Thank you.